Greetings, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to this latest edition of Tales from Outer Space, where I take stories from across the internet and read them for your entertainment. This particular story is called The Human's Newest Pet, written by Captain Candy. Well, that's it, is it? The humans finally got them. The Galactic Council tried to keep the humans from getting them in many different ways, putting out a ban on genetic editing on any non-consenting sentient life forms, telling them that it would be boring and time-consuming, monotonous task. We told them that we ourselves had tried something similar several times, but the cost and the dull nature of the research was too much. We lied and made false reports about how one scientist who never really existed killed himself from banging his head on his desk one too many times out of sheer boredom. We put laws in place preventing sentients from subjugating and taking in non-sentient races or uplifting them. There are, of course, clauses to grandfather in pets that are already domesticated. It's fine to keep domesticating pet animals that were domesticated before the law, but to do so to a new species is strictly prohibited. We told the humans that it was due to some reptilian race domesticating a mammalian super predator, but it wasn't. No. It was to prevent the humans from making their own super predator, one that when the rest of the galaxy heard about collectively had a panic attack. Now this is maybe an overreaction, as some races actually do have old super predators as domesticated pets. In fact, it's almost like domestication and becoming an intelligent dominant race go hand in hand, like the Quolan and their insect meek pets. Small spider-like things with size like an earth mantis at the front and senses well beyond the Quolan themselves. Just as an example, these meek have a full range of vision and a range in size from small enough to carry on a shoulder to large enough to ride into war. These are terrifying, yes, but compared to the things the humans wanted to create, they were puny, stupid, and weak little things to be crushed like bugs. The humans already have their own super predators too, of course, like their so-called humanity's best friend, or dogs, who come in so many sizes and breeds, I'd be stupid to list them all here. Quadrupedal beasts who can outrun any human, have a sense of smell, used for tracking that bordered on uncanny. Combined with humans' tracking skills, they never fail to find their prey. The dog's senses of hearing, or their crushing bite force, etc. Still, compared to what the humans wanted to make, even these dogs seemed docile and tame, like cute, cuddly little toys. But, despite our absolute best efforts, the humans managed to get not one or two, but 27 different breeding programs from crossbreeding and in vitro fertilization, methods which, as defined by galactic law, are not technically genetic engineering. Now, humans have their long sought-after, long-extinct pet. Yes, extinct. The Galactic Council has absolutely buried the records, and I mean buried them. But we visited Earth before towards the middle of their medieval era, when we saw the humans' tendency to tame dangerous creatures, and a creature so dangerous that one of the scouts went into fear-induced coma. We decided one of them had to go. One of these beasts attacked the research ship, and the pilots waved it off. They were in a state-of-the-art armored galactic scout ship that could deflect micrometeors in the void like they were nothing and take the heat of re-entering any planet with ease. But this creature's teeth punctured the armor like it was paper. Its claws shredded the plate armor like it was soft threads. Then there was the breath. These things, due to some quirk in their biology, could store methane inside of their specialized lung-like organ. This methane was used to boost their metabolic rates that were needed, giving it an insane heating rate. But the other use for it is the reason we're almost lost that scout ship. The creature, this flying scaled monster, would, in its infancy, eat its own eggshell, which had a high concentration of flint in it. This flint would coat the back molars of the beast's teeth. Then, as they grew and stored the methane in their bodies, they would gain the ability to release it all through their mouth. As they opened their jaws, their other teeth would strike the flint, causing a spark. In essence, they could, for bursts of up to 30 human seconds, breathe fire with a cooldown of a week or so, while methane built back up in their system. The scout ship's heat shield was overwhelmed and completely collapsed after 5 seconds, and the scoring on the ship when it was putted back into docks was almost like a form of art. The Council, of course, immediately sent out a military fleets and exterminated that species. Now genocide like that is rare and highly frowned upon, but these monsters, those dragons, needed to go. The Eastern dragons were long noodle-like things that had an anti-gravity organs. Yes, organs! These things had anti-gravity biologically. Their scales were immune to every single type of damage that we tried to throw at them, until we literally started throwing it at them using ballistics. They could also breathe fire, but they could adjust the cone intensity and thus the temperature of it. Our ships going down in plumes of white-hot flame was not entirely uncommon, sadly. We aren't even sure how we got all of these Eastern ones either. They were smart, crafty things, not sapient, but definitely intelligent. Once enough of their numbers were culled, they hid, and after searching for 10 years and not finding any, we collected our scrap and left to the west. The Western dragons were hardier things, bulky as hell, but we needed some seriously high-caliber rounds and armor-piercing in order to even hurt them. Killing them took the equivalent of an orbital bombardment weapon to their face. They couldn't control the heat of their fire, but the bursts of it made it so that it didn't matter even a little. The sheer volume of fire made up for it. Their claws were, we still don't even know the alloy to properly compare it to. Now, the humans have recreated these old monsters that they thought were legends. As a side note, the humans are the most terrifying predators the galaxy has ever fucking seen. They would go out with nothing but metal armor and sword, sharp metal sticks, and fight these things, often even successfully slaying them. We really tried to stop the humans from getting dragons again. But it won't be 10 Earth years before we end up seeing these beasts on human battlefields, or following loyally behind a human through the space station, or, if they are like the Eastern variety, hanging around the human's neck willingly like a scarf. Even worse, the dragons the humans have bred can actually speak and are by all measure sapient. They choose to be human pets and followers. Choose it! This also means that they can consent to genetic augmentation and tampering too. At least, the old dragons were somewhat intelligent, but none of them could actually speak. Global super predators, sure, but still animals. Honestly speaking, the humans should thank us a little bit. Old dragons love to eat humans, especially for some odd reason. They would attack towns, villages, hell, even a few cities fell under the wrath of these creatures. A lot of the humans tried to tame them for a long time, but nobody did anything but become a meal for the old dragon. After a while, the humans gave up and just started hunting the beasts back. But now, the dragons they have are not only intelligent, but sentient. These new dragons, due to said intelligence, are orders of magnitude more dangerous than their old separated ancestors. I wish that were all to it, but it isn't. Dragon psychology is now a thing, and apparently they have this mentality that humans are the superior race to them, not through might or birth, but by knowledge and understanding. The dragons now willingly stunt their own growth genetically to stay by the human side. The Western dragons are no bigger than a Great Dane, a large breed of dog, intentionally so, as to not be in their master's way. Yes, master. The humans hate this term, but dragon pride apparently sees it as a must, and whatever human adopts them is from that point forwards their master. They don't see themselves as slaves, as they will leave abusive masters or retaliate, but as service and family members of these humans. Now, the Eastern dragons prefer to normally be the size of a boa constrictor from Earth, a large reptilian predator with an uncanny resemblance to what the dragons were, perhaps a branch in their evolution. They love to hang around the necks and shoulders of their human masters and share their body heat. They aren't cold-blooded, they just like the warmth, kind of like human cats. On that note, the Eastern dragons can also be just as fickle as a damn cat. They can at least accept a wrong, though. The Western arseholes will double, triple, and quadruple down like a stubborn bull. But I think that phrase will soon be replaced with as stubborn as a Western dragon. At this point, there is an honest-to-science debate in the Council right now over whether or not just to tell the humans about the past. The two opinions boil down to this. If we don't tell the humans and they find out about it, they will go to war on an unholy vengeance. The other side is, if we tell the humans, they'll get angry and go on an unholy war of vengeance. But well, if you're watching this, you know that I said feck it and told the humans this is after all the galactic-wide livestream. Now, I've been ignoring chat because let's see. Oh my, there are a lot of humans here. Good, some mixed reactions, but mostly thankful for telling them there would seem. Well, let's hope the scamble pays off then. History Vaught of the High Counselor Nick of the Xenon race for the message that brought peace to the galaxy. End of story. I would just quickly like to thank the T5 peeps, Dragon Soup, Cold War Boomerwaffen, Severin Cerberus, Red Panda 121, Leslie 517, Bushmaster 177, Caspar Arnold, Cam Maxwell, Sans the Skeleton, Light Jock, Dragzoon WRE, and Lord Azrakal. Thank you very much.